Welcome. Today, I'm going to take on a few different personas to illustrate how efficiently NetSuite will manage two key processes for your business: procure to pay and order to cash. Prior to implementing NetSuite, most companies face a similar set of business challenges. For the procurement process, businesses want to gain tighter control on their expenses to prevent overspending and enable cost containment. If approval processes even exist, they're commonly very manual, and there's a lack of visibility since it's usually handled via emails outside of an integrated system. Additionally, managing payables and making vendor payments can be time-consuming and lead to inefficient cash management. On the order-to-cash side of things, businesses want to capture customer orders, fulfill them, and invoice their customers in an automated, streamlined fashion. They often lack visibility into things like inventory levels, which leads to the inability to fulfill orders in a timely fashion, ultimately resulting in lower customer satisfaction. Without a unified system like NetSuite, the billing and collections process can be very manual, leading to an increase in your DSO, or Day Sales Outstanding metric. However, NetSuite has developed a set of leading practices based on our work with thousands of customers over the last 20 years. These leading practices are delivered out of the box and are available on day one. They were built to address many of the common challenges we see within the procure-to-pay and order-to-cash processes. From flexible approval workflows that can scale with your business, to the built-in dashboards designed specifically to manage AR and AP, NetSuite will enable you to manage these core functions more efficiently than any other solution out there. Let's start with the procure-to-pay process, where I'll wear the hat of both a purchasing or AP clerk and a controller to walk you through the process in the system. I'm currently logged in using my purchasing or AP clerk role. My dashboard is tailored to exactly what I need to see in order to manage my daily tasks in the most efficient manner. I have reminders, KPIs, scorecards, and other important links that allow me to truly manage by exception, or access the records and reports that I need to see very quickly. Onboarding and managing our vendors is a big part of what I do on a daily basis, and NetSuite makes that simple. Here's an example of a vendor record where I have a complete 360-degree view of everything about this vendor, including a list of their contacts, an unlimited number of related address records, a full view of all interactions including emails and other communications that we've had with this vendor, any negotiated pricing including quantity price break discounts, and a complete listing of all transaction history with live drillable links to each transaction, just to name a few. If I want to view how many purchase requests I have for this vendor, I can modify my search on the fly. In fact, since this request is still pending approval, it's also easily accessible from my reminders portlet on my dashboard. Reminders are specific to me and can also be tied to automated email alerts. I can drill into each of these where the system brings me to a screen where I can take action. Here's the same purchase request that we viewed from the vendor record. This request is from Adam, who I gave a purchase limit of $1,000. The built-in workflow will reference that limit when determining the appropriate approval routing steps required for this request. My company's approvals are relatively simple, but NetSuite's workflow engine is robust enough to handle whatever level of complexity your approval policy might require. Since this request is greater than Adam's purchase limit of $1,000, it was routed to me for approval. Actually, I remember receiving an automated email from the system as soon as Adam entered this request, giving me the ability to address this sooner, which helps ensure that I'm no longer the one holding up the approval process. As I drill in, I can see all of the information required for me to make my decision. I know that Adam has a few new employees starting next month, and this appears to be the purchase of their new laptops. Upon approval, NetSuite automatically creates a PO. Based on our configuration, not only did the system alert Adam that the purchase request was approved, but it also already sent the PO to our vendor via email. I usually like to ensure that happened, which I can do directly from the Communications subtab. And remember, everything is linked. I can drill to this vendor's record and see the email attached there as well, or drill to the item record to see who else might be requesting laptops. Once our vendor has delivered the new laptops, the next step in my procurement process is to receive the items against the PO. NetSuite gives me the ability to do this from several places. I could simply hit the Receive button directly from the PO, but the leading practice is to use my reminders, where I can view a list of all the POs pending receipt. Our company isn't big enough to staff warehouse employees yet, so I'm also in charge of recording receipts, but these can be entered by whatever role makes sense in your organization. NetSuite allows me to receive partial shipments if needed, but in this case, we received all 4. We configured this item to require a receipt transaction, but if your business doesn't utilize item receipts, you also have the option of going straight to the vendor bill. In the event that this item receipt is entered before my team received the vendor bill, the transaction automatically accounts for this accrual, as we can see on the GL impact. Entering the vendor bill will both record our payable amount and will reverse out this accrual. This helped us cut down our month-end close as we no longer had to calculate this accrual manually. I'm going to go ahead and build this receipt while I'm thinking about it. With a single click, NetSuite automatically populates the vendor bill with all of the information from the PO and item receipt. This really cut down the time that it takes me and my team to enter transactions and freed up a lot of my day to tackle more value-add projects. If needed, we can route vendor bills through another approval process, but our policy doesn't currently require that. I also frequently enter standalone bills for things such as rent expense that might not have a related PO, which is fully supported by the system. Once saved and approved, all of my reports, dashboards, financial statements, and other metrics are updated in real time. I typically like to review my AP aging report just to ensure that everything was updated appropriately. This drillable report makes it easy for me to view my outstanding balances in a variety of ways, and I never lose the ability to drill down to the source transactions. For instance, here's the bill that was just created, already reflected in my aging. Now, managing segregation of duties and internal controls are essential to my company, and NetSuite makes that process effortless. Our policy does not allow me, as the purchasing or AP staff, to actually pay our vendors, so now I'll put on the hat of a controller to finish off the process. As a controller, I was impressed at how quickly I could navigate through the system to complete my work efficiently. Since it's time for my weekly check run, I'll use my reminders portlet to access all of the transactions which need to be paid. All I'm required to do is select the bank account that I'd like to pay these out of, and mark all of the invoices which I want to pay. Upon saving, the checks are either printed right away or are queued up for printing later. NetSuite also offers the ability to pay electronically, which we're considering as a Phase 2 initiative as we enhance our use of the system. Once paid, all of the reports and dashboards for all roles are updated in real time. On my aging, this transaction is no longer included. Additionally, as a controller, I have a separate AP dashboard to manage all of the metrics that are most important to me for this process in a single place. NetSuite also includes leading practices around vendor returns and credits, in addition to other advanced features that my company will look to add on as we scale, including purchase requisitions, the ability to manage vendor RFQs and contracts, and blanket purchase orders. Now that we touched on the procure-to-pay process, let's switch gears and talk about the order-to-cash cycle. NetSuite also delivered a set of leading practices, roles, and dashboards that gave us greater visibility into our order lifecycle. We were able to increase our customer satisfaction by getting them the right product or service quicker, in addition to decreasing the amount of time it took us to collect cash from our customers, freeing up capital to reinvest into the organization. Now I'm logged in to my sales and AR role, where I'm responsible for managing the customer master in addition to processing and billing orders. Just like all the other roles, my dashboard is personalized to me and my responsibilities within the organization. I just received a new order from one of our most loyal customers, Above the Cloud. Here's a view of their customer record where I can see absolutely everything about this customer, including all of the communication interactions that we've had with them, a complete listing of the transaction history, and other general financial information where I can do things like gauge their ability to pay or manage their credit limit. As my company continues to grow, we'll take advantage of additional functionality in the future, such as Salesforce automation, customer support, case management, and marketing. Once we do, I'll have even more of a complete picture of my customers all on this screen. I even have a customer-specific dashboard that ensures I'm fully aware of a customer's financial health and history, which I use almost daily. Let's enter the new order so my fulfillment team can begin processing the shipment. Now, there are several ways to enter orders in NetSuite. Since I'm on the customer record, I'll start the process from here. In the future, we plan to use some of the Salesforce automation functionality to track opportunities and manage quotes in our pipeline. Once that's implemented, I won't need to enter the order from scratch. I'll just simply click a button to generate an order from an already existing quote. Today, I'll enter this manually, which is simple within the system. NetSuite automatically defaults in information from the customer record, such as their payment terms, shipping and billing addresses, and any negotiated pricing. The order that I just received was for 25 projectors. Above the Cloud's building out some new offices and they're loving our new product line. The projectors are inventory items that we must pick, pack, and ship. Above the Cloud also wishes to purchase our setup and installation service, which comes as an additional flat fee. After I enter the items on this order, I usually review and confirm the shipping, billing, and accounting subtabs to ensure everything's accurate. Once this is saved, the order is immediately placed into our fulfillment team's queue for processing. Once their work is complete, I'll be notified that the order is ready for billing. On a quick side note, the same approval workflow applies to our sales transactions as well. So if your company would like the ability to route sales orders for approval, to confirm pricing, delivery, discounts, or any other information, you'll have the control and flexibility to do so. Now that I've entered this order as the sales and AR clerk, I'm going to play the role of the inventory or warehouse manager to process and ship this order. Similar to all other roles, my dashboard as the inventory or warehouse manager is perfectly designed to tackle my daily tasks efficiently and provides me more visibility into our operations than any other system I've worked with. One of my biggest responsibilities is ensuring that we ship our customer orders with pinpoint accuracy as quickly as possible. My orders to fulfill reminder is a real-time view of the current status of orders within the system. As I drill in, I'm brought to a screen where I can take action. With the Advanced Inventory module, NetSuite provides us with the granularity that we didn't have in our old system, with the ability to manage the fulfillment process in several stages. We track our orders using the pick, pack, and ship statuses. In fact, once our sales team entered the order, the pick ticket was automatically printed in our warehouse, so my team has already picked and packed this order, and it's currently on its way out the door. NetSuite also automated the printing of our packing slip and the shipping label for this order, in addition to recording the tracking number, which gives us live access to know exactly where the shipment is throughout delivery. Once I mark this order as shipped, NetSuite automatically does a few things for me, which were historically very manual and time-consuming. First, the inventory quantities are updated in real time to reflect the shipment of goods. Second, the inventory balance and the cost of goods sold are already reflected in our financial statements, with no additional batch posting process required to update the GL. Third, a shipment notification was automatically sent to our customer with a link to the tracking number. And last, the order is now sent back to our AR team with the status of pending billing. Now that my team has completed our part of processing this order, let's head back over to our sales and AR role to create the invoice. As the AR clerk, my reminders also alert me when orders have been shipped and are now ready to be invoiced. Here I have the option to invoice all of the sales orders that are ready, or I can manually invoice specific orders, giving me the chance for one final review. NetSuite has all the controls in place that allow me to trust the accuracy of our billing, so I'll process these in bulk. Since Above the Cloud is such an important customer, I typically like to review their invoices and ensure they were successfully emailed. Here's a copy of the invoice that was created. I have access to everything I need right at my fingertips, including hyperlinks to related records such as the original sales order, the item fulfillment, and the customer and item masters. On the Communications subtab, I have a copy of the email and invoice that were sent directly to the customer with no work required on my part. On the GL Impact screen, I can see exactly how this will be reflected in my financials, with a debit to AR and a credit to revenue. Now I know that I'm sounding like a broken record, but just like everything else we've seen, all my reports, dashboards, and metrics are updated in real time as soon as my invoicing process is complete. Here's my AR aging, which I use to view customer balances and work towards timely collection. The system gives me the flexibility to review or segment this report in any way that I need, and of course I have the ability to drill down to all source transactions. Here's the invoice, which we've been tracing throughout its life cycle. Since our policy doesn't allow me to accept payments or enter credit memos, so we ensure effective segregation of duties, my work here is done. Now, my controller will talk you through the remainder of the order to cash cycle. Welcome back to my controller dashboard. This is the same role and dashboard that I used to manage the procure to pay process earlier. Since I'm also responsible for cash collection and application, I also have reminders and shortcuts that help me manage AR as well. I just received a check from Above the Cloud, so I'll go ahead and record the payment to give you guys an idea of how I manage this within NetSuite. Like everything else, there are several places to initiate this transaction, but I usually like to start by reviewing the invoices the customer has remitted payment for. This particular check is for invoice 214. It's easy for me to find this transaction using the global search. After a quick review, I can see that they're paying this invoice in full. The Accept Customer Payment button takes me to a screen where I can apply payment to the open invoices for this customer. Here, I have the option to enter additional information that it's helpful to track. I can choose to enter this payment directly to my bank account, or I can use this undeposited funds account, which is designed for grouping several payments into a deposit transaction that proves to be very helpful during my bank reconciliation. I can also apply any open credit memos or customer deposits to open invoices in addition to capturing information about the payment itself, such as the check number. Once this payment application is saved, the invoice is considered closed and automatically falls off the AR aging report. As the controller, I also have a dashboard designed to place all of the AR metrics that are important to me in a single place, which is also updated in real time. NetSuite also includes leading practices around return authorizations, credit memos, and customer refunds, in addition to other advanced features that my company will look to add on as we grow, including a solution to automate dunning and collections. Now that you've seen how my company uses the system to efficiently manage our procure-to-pay and order-to-cash operations, let's talk about what this means for your business. You will experience tighter controls around managing your expenses and will reduce overspending with NetSuite's built-in approval workflows, allowing you to build your company policies directly into the ERP. Additionally, you will have a full view of your vendor's performance, providing you with the leverage needed to negotiate competitive pricing and better manage your supply chain. Last, you'll have unmatched visibility into your procurement process, leading to greater insight and quicker decision-making. Your order-to-cash operations will also see significant improvements. Your sales team will have full visibility into inventory quantities when entering orders, providing streamlined communication of expected ship dates to customers accurately. With NetSuite's unified real-time database, customer satisfaction will increase thanks to the ability to ship the right product faster. Finally, automated invoicing and cash application will help you collect cash sooner and reduce the number of past due customers. And remember, once live on NetSuite's leading practices, there are plenty of advanced features and functionality to take advantage of when the time's right. So as your business grows, we're there to scale with you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing about how NetSuite makes your life and job just a little bit easier.
Data search is workflows.